Ayo, we are back, your favorite couple, once again with another episode of our podcast. We still do. We in the double digits, y'all. This is episode 10.
Episode 10.
This is 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 10. We in the double digits. We finally made it into the double digits.
Yep.
And this topic here, since we didn't get any feedback from you fine people out there, we decided to go
we got
on.
feedback.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh.
I didn't see nobody say what they was thinking. So we got a topic, and we are talking about intimacy. So you want me to start it?
Yeah, you can start it.
Intimacy. Okay. So, where do I start?
You got a loss for words?
Where do I start? Cause I'm the more intimate one in this relationship, so I gotta watch my words, y'all, cause I don't want to embarrass her. Have her over here blushing, looking at me crazy.
I wouldn't say you're the more intimate one. I would say
What?
you're
Please.
the more...
I'm the more intimate one, period.
Not-
I'm all over you like, we ain't even gonna say white on rice, cause it's worse than that. Follow you everywhere.
Yes, you're more
Intimate.
touchy. You like to touch. Okay, go.
Oh, I thought you was gonna get into what I like to do. Tell the people what I like. All right, so in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, intimacy obviously is an important part of marriage. It's a huge and it's an important part in marriage because that's what's gonna keep the love going. It keeps the flame burning in your relationship. So you have to be intimate with one another. You know, you can't have moments where you guys just don't even encounter each other physically, like you don't even touch each other, because that's just nonsense. Like, and not to mention, like, you know, you got those people out there who are like, well, if I ain't getting it from you, I'm getting it from somewhere.
Right.
You do not want that to be in your husband or your wife's head. Like, well, if you ain't getting it from me, who you getting it from?
And that a lot of people use that like as an excuse or like a justification
To go and cheat. Like,
to go and cheat.
You wasn't giving it to me, so I got needs.
Right. Like she's not doing her wifely duty, or what? I don't like that wifely duty
Yeah, that's not
term, because it's not a wifely duty. It's a couple's duty. Like it's both of your guys' jobs to make sure that intimacy is an important priority in your marriage. Like that should be something that you're both working on, and if you feel like you're lacking in that area, then it's something that you guys need to
talk about it,
discuss and figure it out together. Not like, oh well, I'm mad so I'm not going to, or I don't think she's feeling it, so I'm not even gonna try. Like the effort comes from both parts, and it has to be a mutual thing. Like it needs to be on mutual ground and mutual terms. But yeah, go ahead. What you were saying?
What was I saying? I kind of forgot now.
You were saying that it's important.
It is.
Yeah.
It is important, and like you said, it is something that comes from both sides. Both sides have to be in agreement, and I think the communication comes into play with this too, because we're adults. You married, we're adults. I think you should be able to come together and talk about, what the gaps are, like, what makes you happy, what doesn't make you happy, or what you want. Because if you don't, then how are they supposed to know?
Exactly. How are they supposed to know?
How are they supposed to know?
You don't if you
Yeah,
don't
like,
vocalize it,
yeah.
how am I supposed to know?
People think that when they get married, like, okay, well,
Yeah.
you my wife now, so I can only get it from you. So it just needs to happen. but it's not just gonna happen like that. Like, you still need to communicate. You may have a set thing in your head where you like, just for an example, you may be a freak, and you might be like, I want out of 5 days in the week, I want 4. But your wife might be like, I only want 2, maybe 1. But if y'all don't talk about it, see, she gonna be over here looking like this, but I don't care, y'all. If y'all don't talk about it, it's gonna be an issue, because you over here expecting 4 days out of the week.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I never signed up for that. But y'all didn't talk about it. There's nothing wrong with talking about it. Like, hey, look, babe, boo, wifey, whatever you call her, this is my boo right here. Like, look, I'm looking for 4 days out of this week, okay? It could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, however you want to do it. It could be back to backs. It could be...
Okay. We get that.
But you got to talk about it.
You do have to talk about it.
Because if y'all not on the same page, then it's going to be button heads, and it's going to look like, okay, I'm trying to do this, and she not trying to do it. And now you guys is clashing, but you never sat there and talked about it. Like, it's not just an automatic thing because you got married. Like, it's, okay, whenever I want it, that's when it's going to happen. It don't work like that. Like, you still got to talk about it.
Yeah. And it needs to be a mutual.
Yeah, don't force it.
It needs to be mutual. And I want, I'm big on definitions and stuff. So I actually looked up the definition of intimacy, which says close familiarity or friendship or closeness. And then some of the synonyms were closeness, togetherness, rapport, attachment, familiarity, confidentiality, friendliness, comradeship, companionship, affection, warmth, understanding, fellow feeling, and there was a whole bunch more. But I wanted to bring that up because it's more than just like having sex with somebody. That's not really being intimate with that person. You have to be like in tune with that person and aware of their feelings and their expectations, and you really need to be familiar with that person and close to that person and really trusting and like confiding in that person to really have true intimacy, because it's more than just a physical act. It's more of like a connection with that person when you're really intimate with somebody.
It makes it that much better too.
And it makes it that much better. And when you build that that rapport with somebody, I think that it makes it a lot more enjoyable, and it makes it easier to like want to do it more often.
Yeah.
And it doesn't become like a wifely duty, or it doesn't.
Go ahead.
It doesn't.
What?
I can't with you.
Yes, you can.
I'm trying to keep it like.
You're trying to keep it professional,
I'm
but
trying
I'm
to
not.
keep it professional.
I'm not going to keep it professional because this.
Okay, but
you can't keep a topic like this professional. That's
yes, you
stupid.
can, Deontay.
That sucks. We about to have fun with it. The people want to see us, okay?
Okay.
Loosen up a little bit.
This is me.
Let's go lefty loosey a little bit on you. Okay? You ain't got to give all the juicy detail, but you can loosen lefty loosey a little bit. Okay. Not righty tight.
So, so if you have that connection, like I said, it'll make it more enjoyable, and you'll want to do it more often, and really be able to meet the expectation of, your spouse, if that's something that, they're expecting. Because I know a lot of people who, like once they get married, first, like the honeymoon stage is like, it's happening all the time. Mm-hmm. And then, you start to have more kids, or you start to get into a routine, or you're working a lot or whatever, and you reach this little point where it's like, I barely even see you, let alone do I want to spend this extra time.
Yeah, like I'm
you know.
tired. I just worked a long
Exactly.
day. Like I just want to take a shower and go to bed.
Exactly. But I mean, I feel like for us, like that's another point of like our quality time, really. Like that's just an extension of our quality time, because that's another opportunity for us to be together and
Gonna be watching this like, how much quality time y'all spending? Another one. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got 3 kids.
It's
Oh my goodness.
it's an opportunity for us to be together, have each other's undivided attention, enjoy one another's company. Like that's what quality time is.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what you're doing,
Right.
with, you know what I mean, with your quality time. But for us, that's another extension of our quality time. So we do take time to enjoy that, because it's, I don't look at it as a duty or
Right.
as something that I have
Yeah,
to
like
do.
okay,
Or, you know what I mean?
it's been a week, so you're gonna have to go ahead and let me
Right.
get that.
Because at that point,
It's been a week. It's my turn now. Like I know you've been waiting, but I can't wait no more. Like it shouldn't have to be like that.
yeah.
It should just be like automatic. Like I mean, like you should get to the point where it's just like you guys both on the same page with, this needs to happen, or let's make this happen, or
Yeah.
maybe you guys are just so in tune. You guys are both expecting it, and it's not like
Yeah.
what I'm saying, you just got into bed and what I'm saying, you laying there watching TV and I gotta be nudging and hinting at it,
Yeah.
and then expecting you to get the hints, and you like, well, how was I supposed to know? And then you got an attitude,
Yeah. And
or
even,
I would have an attitude.
even if it is like not so much of an issue of like how often, but really an issue of like how
Yeah,
it's
like how to
being
make it happen.
done. Not how to make it happen, but
Or like the
how
actual
to-
process.
the actual
yeah,
like
you don't want it
process
to
of
be
doing
like,
it. You
okay,
want it to
be a selfish act.
Exactly.
Where it's
Like
just
it
like, I
needs
got mine,
to
that's it.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be a mutual thing, because you could be doing it all the time and still not really have that intimacy
Yeah.
and have that connection, and still feel like a disconnect of like
And that could be
It's
why
not-
your wife is not wanting to.
not wanting to do it.
Yeah, not
or
wanting to
and
do
vice
it.
versa.
Yeah, 'cause
And
it's
vice
like
versa.
last time and I didn't really enjoy it. You was just all about yourself, and I'm not trying to go through that.
Yeah. And that takes out the enjoyment part of it.
Yeah,
And it takes
That's
out
true.
it's just not even, if you don't enjoy doing something and you do it out of obligation, then it's not really,
you're not excited to try
you're
to
not
do it.
excited. Yeah, you're not excited. So
Yeah, then it becomes those anniversary, birthday, New Year's Eve, those special holidays. It's like, okay, it's New Year's Eve. Yeah, you can have it, but not today. It's Monday, so no.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so okay, switching gears, out of the bedroom, let's talk about in public. Like talk about PDA out in public, because this is something that I want to know, and I want to know what you guys think about PDA out in the world. Like,
I hate PDA.
I know you hate it. I don't care, but
I
what?
don't like PDA.
And I mean, I'll ask you, and then maybe when you guys watch this, you guys can leave us some feedback. But I would like to know, what would you guys, or what would you and you guys consider too far? Like, what's too much?
Like besides for me, I would say like, I don't mind holding your hand. I don't mind if
I asked the wrong person. this
Yeah, you
question.
did ask the wrong person, but I don't mind holding your hand. I don't mind like if you give me like a quick kiss or something, like a peck, but no like grabbing
Yeah, I asked you. I shouldn't ask
grabbing
you.
me in public and
All right, you're done.
doing too much.
I don't even want to hear your
I don't
answer.
like that. You know I don't like that.
So, for me,
Sorry,
what I
guys.
think is too much is when you see the couple that's just like, I mean, they borderline about to have sex out in public. That's too much for me. Like, they just like
Yeah,
tuned everybody out. They just like tonguing it down, like draped all over everybody. Old boy is grabbing on her butt, and they just like going to work. Like, that's
but
too far.
You don't. Yeah, that's a little ridiculous. But
That's
you
too
don't.
much.
I mean, I don't see that much.
You don't see, but I'm not saying what do you see. I'm just saying like what
What's
would be too
much?
far. Yeah, because like
well, that's definitely too much.
yeah, you could be that couple, but you just don't realize it because you tuned everybody out. And I'm letting you know that's too much. We don't.
No,
Nobody want to
if
see that.
that's you, do you? You don't
Do
tell
you
anybody.
behind closed doors? People have kids. Don't nobody
Yeah,
kids
that's
need to be
true.
seeing that.
That's
That's why I
true.
say it's too much because you never know who's looking when you're
Yeah.
out in public.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, me, I don't go too far. I might be all on her, kissing all on her. I don't think
You
that that's too
don't-
much.
And really, you don't like. If we're like in a public place, you don't even do all
I don't
that.
go too far, no.
You do that like if we're at mom's house or but like if we're just out in public, you don't do all that. And I
like
don't think
smack you on the butt, stuff
you
like
want
that.
to.
You be
Yeah,
like, don't do that.
yeah, but you don't be all like on me, and you don't do that. You don't.
I'm about to do it now. Shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that.
Why?
Because that was like a dare to me. You don't do
No,
that.
it what? It wasn't a dare. It wasn't a dare. I was just
All right.
stating the facts.
Anyway,
No.
okay, so let's.
My focus is the intimacy part of it because, like I said, it's more than just, doing it.
Yeah, because you can't just always
Because
want to
I-
please yourself and expect your wife
And I think
to want to
that
just
when-
please you too.
When you're married to somebody and you're in it for the long haul, like this is forever now, you have to have that intimacy level. Like it has to go to another level.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like you said, the long haul,
you're
like
gonna get tired.
we're in our 30s. We still got a long way to go.
We got
We've
a
been
long
married
way to
since we
go.
were in our 20s, but you got to keep it fresh all the time, folks. You got to keep it fresh, people. Like, I mean, if you think about it, nobody sits there and really counts over, time. Like, dang, we've done it like this many times. Like, that don't matter. Like, you need to think about, like,
Kind of do.
you can count?
No, I say you probably do.
No, I can't keep count.
Excuse me.
I ain't keeping count of that. That's ridiculous. But I mean, when you really sit there and think about it, like it's not just a routine. Like, okay, let's get it done. Boom, boom, good. All right, good night. Like you got to keep it fresh and
Joking.
like people say all the time. Like when you are about to get married, like this is about to be the only person that you have sex with for the rest of your life, and it's a true fact. And it's not a fact that should scare you and be like, dang, I can't, like, that should be something where it's like, okay, I need to be on my A game. I need to make sure that every time is pleasing to her so that, just like I said in the last episode, like, I'm going to make sure I tell you everything that needs to be said about you so that when you go out, you don't hear from nobody else. I'm going to make sure that whatever's done is satisfying to you to where you ain't going to be looking at nobody else thinking like, I wonder how he would, or, I wonder if, no, none of them questions should be coming up. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure everything is done the right way. And that goes with communication. There's nothing wrong with asking your wife, like, did you like that? Did you not like that? What would you like?
Yeah.
'Cause the only way to know is by asking. I just
Yeah.
think sometimes men are so prideful that they just feel like I already know what I'm doing. Like I got this. Like
Yeah.
I'm a man. Like I
Yeah.
got this. I'm about to. But you really don't know what pleases
What
us.
that-
I couldn't know what pleased you. It might have pleased somebody else, but you might not like it. And I can't
Who was
just go.
Who was she?
Nobody. Nobody.
I'm just
But
playing.
yeah, I couldn't do, the same stuff that I did with somebody else with you and expect it to please
Yeah.
you. Like, you could get lucky and it could, but
Yeah.
I mean, no, everybody has different things that they like, and you need to find out what they like, and you need to, like I said, keep it fresh, because you are going to be with this person for the rest of your life. Like, you got to
Yeah.
make sure that you don't get bored and it gets to the
Yeah.
point where it's just
And
like,
you have
I don't feel like it.
it's I think for me at least, let me just speak for myself. Cause I remember we did kind of have like a low key conversation about it, and we had been married for, I don't know, maybe a couple years. And for me, it was kind of like, ooh, it was weird to be like,
Yeah, it's going to be weird.
it was weird. But then I feel like after we had a conversation, then it became better.
Yeah.
So you can't be like too, I guess, ashamed or too whatever
Yeah, prideful.
I guess prideful.
Because people
To
just
talk.
feel like, well, I'm an adult. I'm grown. I've
I
done it
should
before.
know.
You've done it. So, yeah, I
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
should know. And you can't know without asking. Like, as a man, just speaking from a man's perspective, I think all men, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong, but I just feel like as a man, we just feel like we know how to make a woman happy. Like, we know what needs to be done. Like, X, Y, and Z, I did it, so you should be good.
Yeah,
But it's not just X, Y, and Z. It's how you do X, Y, and Z.
that's good.
Yeah, I got knowledge. I got knowledge, y'all. Hey, hit me up. I got knowledge. But yeah, it's not
that's
just
good.
doing X, Y, and Z, because,
That's right.
you can do X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z
Mm-hmm.
over and over and over. I did X, Y, and Z. I don't understand what you're not happy for. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you never thought to take the time out and ask, like, how do you like when I do X?
Mm-hmm.
Or when I do Y, would you rather me do it like this, or would you rather do it like that? And then with Z, do you even want me to do Z or not? Because, she might not tell you no because she don't want it to be like, yeah, you don't like it, or I'm not doing it right. And then she feel like she, kind of hurt your pride. And it's like, dang, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So she just let it happen, but she actually just could care less for it. Like, that's just one thing you can just leave that. That's an extra few minutes that we can save.
We don't even need that one.
Yeah, that one can go over there. Those minutes we can put those somewhere else. But that's just a little nugget that came to me right there. Like, it's not just about what you
Yeah.
do, it's how you do it. And I think that having that conversation, because I do remember that conversation too, and it is weird to have
Yeah.
to talk about that
Yeah.
with your wife. Like, what I'm saying? But afterwards, once it's out there, you kind of just feel like a weight lifted off your shoulders. Like, now she knows.
Yeah.
So now if it don't happen, it's like she just don't care.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think you guys should try it. Take it from us. We got 3 kids.
Stop saying that. Okay.
That don't mean nothing, huh? There's people out
exactly.
there with
There's
more
people
kids.
that have a lot of kids, and that don't mean their marriage is on lock. So that doesn't mean anything. Okay.
All right, you right. What you
When
got?
we first got married, did you like go into the marriage having any expectation about that? What was your expectation?
All day, every day. It's mine. Give it to me. Oh my goodness! You shouldn't have asked me that question. You lobbed me up a softball, and I home run that.
What was your realistic expectation, Deontay?
You know what? Honestly, I didn't have an expectation. I didn't have like an expectation, like, a set amount of, days or anything like that. It was just like, for me, it was just, really, I say my expectation was, if I'm in the mood, if I want it, it should happen.
Okay.
I would say that was my expectation, but I never had.
So, is it fair to say that your expectation was that it should always be available? It's just accessible to you whenever you want it?
Yeah, you can say that. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Like, if I want it,
I'm
why
gonna
not?
get it.
Why not?
Okay.
What about you?
Same. I feel like
I don't know what took you so long to say that. Stop! I told you, Lefty Lucy. Come on now, Lefty Lucy, y'all. She trying to be righty tighty like a mug. The same. Like I don't know you. Jesus.
Deontay.
These people gonna be like, no, she lying. I can see the way she was looking around the room like, no, same.
Oh man. Yeah, I would say that my expectation was the same. But I don't feel like that is a fair expectation to have. I mean, it is, but it isn't at the same time, because I feel like you need to, like, it takes work to build up to that. You know what I mean? To really have that true level of intimacy, and you can't just, go into it right away and they just expect for this person, no matter what mood they're in, no matter what, you know what I mean? To just be like, oh, well, you got to give it to me. Like, yeah. I don't think that's a fair expectation to have. But I think for me, you just how we are.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it just kind of worked out.
Because for other couples,
I don't think that going into a marriage that should be an expectation that you just automatically have on somebody, especially if they don't know that expectation is there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the first time that you're unable to fulfill that expectation, it's an issue. Mm-hmm. Like you have to... And
it's usually an issue that isn't talked about too.
Exactly.
Because you're not going to come out and be like, I got an attitude, or, say why you're mad. Mm-hmm. You're just going to be in your feelings. Mm-hmm. And, that person's going to be like, what's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I was talking to somebody today and they were telling me about something that they were listening to. And it was actually talking about marriage and how this expectation that they had, once it wasn't fulfilled, grew into a resentment. Mm-hmm. And that can easily happen when it comes to sex and intimacy in a marriage, because it's like you have that expectation, and as soon as it doesn't get met, instead of not talking about it like you should, then it grows into this attitude, and then that attitude turns into resentment, and then that's when people use a lack of intimacy to go out and cheat. Mm-hmm. Or go, you know what I mean? Or go out and get it from somewhere else, and using that as a justification instead of dealing with the problem when it first arises. They let it build up and fester into something much more bigger. And I was looking online at, because I was trying to find a topic for us, and I was looking at the 10 highest reasons why people get divorced. And the first one was infidelity, so cheating. Mm-hmm. And then the next one after that was lack of intimacy. Mm. And it's like those two kind of, that's a snowball effect right there, because you have that lack of intimacy. So you feel well within your rights, or you feel that validation to go out and get it from somebody else because, well, my wife isn't fulfilling her wifely duties, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was really interesting. Oof. But that's not a justification. I'm sorry. You have to be an adult about it, and you have to be man enough or woman enough to have that conversation. If
you're not, you might as well just get a divorce.
Well, Deontay, I mean,
I'm not advocating divorce, but if you're going to sit there and not talk about it like an adult,
yeah, don't
go out and cheat, because you're going to end up getting a divorce anyway.
Right.
Because you cheated.
Right.
Instead of just sitting there talking about it and trying to mend the situation and fix it like an adult, you want to go out and be childish and go get it from somebody else and then come home to your wife.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that's always been, and I think when you do have it to where, it's just that intimacy, then you can look at it like, I couldn't see myself doing this with no other woman. Mm-hmm. because it's so intimate with your wife. Like, I couldn't picture doing this with anybody else. Like, it wouldn't even be the same. Or, and even if you for some reason did, like, how could you go and do it with someone else and then come back and then do the same thing with your wife?
Yeah.
Like that.
Some people can though.
Yeah, some people can, but it's just like, once you get to that point, and the people who do it, they're just not at that point.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
They're still in that point where it's
Yeah.
just like, I just need to get it. I just need it. I don't care who it's from. I just need to get it. So if it's not coming from my wife, then it's gonna be coming from her over here, and then I'll come back to my wife, and then when she's ready to give it to me, I'll still take that too. Like, you being greedy. You being greedy.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
That's how you end up with kids
preaching
that you
today,
didn't know about,
ain't you?
and diseases you didn't know about. Yeah.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good.
I got knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
You do. You got knowledge, and you are spitting knowledge today.
Yeah. Well, I done been around, you know, but now I'm married, happily. Got my ring.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I don't have nothing else to say about it, really. Do you?
I mean, not really. I hope everybody takes from this and sits down and talk about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And don't. I think one thing too that men shouldn't do is compare their sex life with another man's too. Like, don't.
Or compare your life.
Yeah, your life.
Like,
your
don't
marriage.
compare anything. I don't want people to be watching us and comparing.
Yeah, don't let us be
Like,
the source of
she
your
does
argument.
that, or he does that, or
Yeah.
she said this to him, and look how this is not what this is for, you guys. This is to build and encourage and to hopefully you guys can take something and apply it to your life, but it's not about comparing. I hate comparing anything. I don't like when my kids compare each other. Well, you let so and such do this, why didn't you let me do this? Or they have that, how come I don't have that? Like, don't compare. Your life would be so much easier without comparison. Like, don't compare yourself or your marriage or anything to anyone else. Like, live your best life, and that's it. Like, you don't have to always be competing with the Joneses, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
If you know as you know, we don't try to compare ourselves to nobody. I just think I'm the best at everything. I don't compare myself to nobody. I just think I'm the best at whatever.
You low key compare a little bit, but not in a
No,
bad
I don't
way.
compare. I compete. I don't look at people and be like, dang, like, yeah, okay, yeah, he got this. No, yeah, I can be better. I just compete with people. Like, I'm faster than him, or I can throw farther than him.
Deontay,
Stuff like that.
not just stuff like that.
Like, what else?
You.
This ain't even on the topic, but
It's
what
not
else?
on the topic, but you always like, are we a better couple? Are we this? Are we that? So it's not necessarily comparison in a bad way.
We better.
But
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that then.
it's like, and I know you do it in a good way. It's like comparison to like lift us up or to lift me up. But it's like, I don't want to be compared to anybody else. I just want to do me and do it in the best way that I can.
Okay.
So, but I think it is the competitiveness in you that makes you want to do that. Like, you just,
I'll stop.
I mean,
Yeah, when we
Do
do
you?
go on
I'm just
vacation,
saying,
I do
that's
be
for me.
like, we about to be the best looking couple on this vacation. You got that? I do that.
yeah, you do, Deontay.
Well, everybody should do that. That's the only comparison you should do. And it's not like your marriage. It's just like us as a couple. When we go out, when we get dressed, we finna shut it down. That's just confidence. That's what that is. Like, I'm sure everybody out there feels like they're the best looking couple. So it's not like what I'm saying is just like out of the ordinary. Like,
I'm not saying that.
y'all are all the best looking couples. Okay? Everybody's the
he doesn't mean
best
that,
looking
guys.
couple.
He doesn't mean that.
We just the best looking couple. Okay? But you are too. I just love the way we are together. That's all it is, you know. I'm just confident in our relationship.
That's good. That's good. Because I think it took us a long time to get to the place that we're both confident in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good place to be.
Yeah, I love it.
So we appreciate you guys joining in with us today. We hope that this conversation was inspiring, encouraging for you guys. Take something with you to help you through your week.
I hope you guys felt like she went lefty a little bit, lefty loosey. I hope I loosened her up a little bit for you guys.
I let you kind of lead this conversation, so you did very well.
Right on.
You did very well. You guys don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram at we_still_D0. I messed that up last time. Yeah, that's it.
Castbox.
Oh, also, yes, if you guys don't want to watch us, you guys can just listen to our audio on the Castbox app. That is CASTBOX.
And tell somebody about us too. We're trying to build this We Still Do movement up.
And for those of you guys who have been shouting us out on Instagram, and we appreciate that. We do. We appreciate
putting us in your
that.
Story.
Yeah.
And sharing.
And let us know.
We're still
doing shout out Saturday. So all you have to do is just send us a picture of you and your spouse. Send it to our DM on Instagram, and we will give you guys a shout out on Saturday. And just leave a little comment of, this is why I love my wife, or what I've learned most about being married, something that we can add into the comment section when we post a picture. And yeah, we appreciate you guys
very much.
So tell them who you are.
Who am I?
Who are you?
I'm Deontay.
And I'm Maymuna.
And we still do.
See you guys next week.